Welcome to the I Hate Critics 1994 podcast. I am professional film critic Sean Patrick. Amy's here.
Hi.
MJ's here.
Hello.
And Movie is here.
Oh, God.
It was. We banished it from the land.
Burned it with fire.
Amy, who's the show brought to you by?
Oh, the Pontiac Fiero. You might also want to burn that with fire if your mom was in it.
But it'll still survive it.
Yeah,
It will.
it'll
last.
That's the Pinto. And the Pinto is not sponsoring us as far as we know.
Yeah, we kind of ignored them.
Yeah, that's true. Or the Gremlin. No, we like the Fiero. Bring in that sweet, sweet Fiero money.
So in the God's year of 1994, there were not one but two films that were made that each began life much earlier, say in the early 1990s. They both began life and were actually completed. They were fully made and then they were completed, and they were about to be given to the audience until someone looked at each of these films and said, you know what? Neither of these movies should be musicals. Why don't you take them back, re-edit them completely, and then take out all the music, and then we'll release them to the world. One of which was called I'll Do Anything, which is a film starring Nick Nolte, which began life as a musical that had directed by one of the producers of The Simpsons, James L. Brooks.
Yeah.
Had a full musical score by Prince that they scrapped.
I remember this. Yes.
Totally, and musical numbers with none other than that legendary hoofer, Nick Nolte.
who's known for his musical prowess and insight.
But you're wondering why I'm bringing this up on this episode, because the other movie that began life several years before it ever arrived in theaters and was completely finished as a musical and had almost all of its musical numbers cut is Car 54, Where Are You?
Oh, God.
So there could have been more music in it, is what I'm hearing.
The film was completed with a great deal more musical music numbers than there were.
None of us deserve this movie.
I didn't know that we got the better version.
Oh, yeah, if you look at it like that, that's when life gives you lemons kind of attitude. I like that in you. Good for you. You're wrong.
Do you think it would have been better as a musical?
Yeah. Actually, yes. But I had to ask Sean, hey, if it was a musical, does that mean that Rosie O'Donnell actually had a song in it?
Probably, yeah.
All right.
More than likely. She would have jumped. She might have jumped in on that music. The one song that they had to leave in there for the date, for the double date scene. They had to leave that in there. You know, it had to be there. Did they? Had to be there. Couldn't do the movie without it.
Oh, God.
The movie is 1994's Car 54, Where Are You? This week.
The completely forgettable film of 1994.
Directed by the legendary director Bill Fishman. Everybody remembers where they were when Bill Fishman started directing movies.
This was after he was a youth pastor. We're a big fan of youth pastors on the podcast. Yeah, you know Bill. Bill is he lives down the street from all of us. Bill Fishman.
The director of Tapeheads.
Oh, no shit.
I know, right?
Okay. Interesting.
Weird.
Yeah.
Unexpected. Didn't think he was still. Didn't think he'd done anything that I actually heard of other than this. So that's interesting.
Oh, the tagline for this: an arresting comedy.
Ah, get it? Because they're cops.
Because they're cops. I'm glad.
Wow.
If it weren't for Sean pointing out certain things in this movie, I would have never caught on.
I mean, you gotta explain the joke.
Yeah. Once we got to the donuts thing.
Yeah,
Oh, the donuts.
Yeah. Cops and donuts. I didn't know that they had a symbiosis. I had no idea.
I thought
Blissfully
cops
unaware.
liked Long John Silver. I thought they always gathered for hush puppies.
I love hush puppies. God, I would eat a full gluten meal from Long John Silver's 3 times a day to avoid watching this film ever again.
What is a hush puppy, by the way?
It's kind of like a cornmeal, breaded, got an oniony kind of taste to it.
Why is the
Hush puppy? Where art thou, hush puppy?
This movie was made in 1990.
You know what it shows? Especially with the outfits. I had to wonder, I'm like, this is not a 94 vehicle at all. and John C. McGinley's jeans are a little too tight for the era, if you ask me.
It's really a film that exists out of time when you really look back on it.
Yeah. Out of time. The time we'll never see again.
No.
So MJ,
we'll never...
before we watched the movie, what did we watch?
We watched part of an episode of the TV show.
We watched the pilot.
The pilot of Car 54, Where Are You?
Which,
the original.
I mean, everybody has seen and everybody references all the time, which is why the movie dropped in numerous references to the pilot episode of Car
Swordfish,
54.
picnics.
Oh, the picnics.
The picnics. Yeah, we couldn't even finish the pilot episode of the TV show because it was so
boring.
fucking... Oh my god, it was so bad.
Oh my god, they were gonna do one of those plots where, like, they gotta be one place, but they gotta get to the other place. Oh, what are they gonna do?
My least favorite part of television.
Exactly. What blows my mind is that it's Hollywood, right? Going, you know what? Remember that, what the fuck? There's a couple of shows back in the 50s that ran. Car 54, Where Are You? No. You don't have a movie about that yet, right? I mean, it ran 2 whole fucking seasons.
2 seasons.
Which to me just says classic.
Really, it's unimpeachable classic is what it is.
And yet we never got a film about My Mother the Car. How does that work?
How is that? That doesn't work, does it?
I mean,
there should be one.
You know what? I'll write it myself. If we're not going to do it.
Yeah.
My Mother the Car. It's like, I'm even too young for that reference, and I'm throwing that shit out there for you.
That has to have been referenced. That has to have been come up somewhere. Like, we've got the rights to this. We can do this.
This was in the 60s, actually, My Mother the Car. But still...
2 seasons.
2
right?
seasons.
You know how many episodes you can do in 2 seasons back in the day? 60. There were 30 episode seasons.
No shit. Wow. So,
Yeah.
like, we'd have, like, now it's 24, right?
Yeah, generally, yeah.
Generally. Or if you're Netflix assholes, you cut it down to 6, you motherfuckers.
Seriously. It's supposed to be 10.
We're not bitter.
No, of course not.
Yeah, see, shit like that happens where something like Umbrella Academy gets, like, 6 episodes, and yet this fucking movie gets a whole fucking film. 60 episodes and a whole fucking film.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Fuck you, Car 54.
What would make anybody have nostalgia for this fucking show?
This particular film. It's like, oh god, I'm so I'm a simp for Fred Gwynn. I like my men with very long faces.
I do recall at the time one of the earliest iterations of Nick at Night.
Yeah.
Would show episodes of
Yes.
Car 54. Where Are You?
That's how we knew to turn it off, to change the channel. The minute that one came up, you know, because our viewing pleasure was done at that point.
Just looking at the wiki for Car 54, Where Are You, the TV show, and only now am I getting the fact that they had Al Lewis in this movie, right? As Detective Schnauzer. He was in the original TV show.
Al Lewis was actually in the original TV show.
He was in the original TV show. I didn't know because, like, I thought it was just a reference to Fred Gwynn being
too.
dead. So, like, Fred Gwynn's dead. Get the guy who played his
father-in-law
on that other show he was on, and that'll count as a reference to him. No, he wasn't in the episode that we saw.
Yeah.
We didn't see Detective Schnauzer, Officer Schnauzer, in that episode, but yeah, he was on Car 54. Where Are You?
He was always 100 years old then. Like, how? Al Lewis is actually a real vampire. I think that's proven.
Yeah.
By this.
He is dead, right?
God, are you wishing for it? Like, you asked that, like, he is dead, right?
I want to make sure,
that happened.
Right? Because if he's not, somebody's got to take care of this.
He died in 2006.
May he rest in peace.
Is everyone from the original series dead? I think so.
Oh, my God.
What about Joey Ross? When did Joey Ross pass?
Joey Ross.
He was the original, character that, what's his name played? Died in 1982, so he was dead well before this movie got made. Couldn't have made an appearance.
Couldn't stand up for himself, is what you're saying. Advocate.
Fred Gwynne also dead before they made the movie because again, there's so much. That's why there's all this nostalgia is because the
They're
actors
all dead.
were already dead before the movie was made.
And some might say David Johansen's career died with this movie.
Along with any of his New York Dolls credibility.
Just don't, because that hurts so much to me. And again, not to mention the fact that the Ramones appeared in this fucking movie, which is so not punk. It's no different than seeing, back then, Phil Collins schlepping, Vaseline, or Tina Turner schlepping hosiery. That's what this is akin to. And Joey Ramone, I'm sorry, but fuck you for being in this fucking movie. You dick.
So we barely mentioned the plot of the movie.
There was plot?
I think it was trying to get
about that.
I think it was trying to get John C. McGinley laid. I think that was the plot.
I guess.
That kind of passes for what might be considered a plot in this.
There's so...
David Johansen is Officer Gunther Toody, who's so lazy that he sleeps through a riot. Get it? Because it's funny. He's sleeping through a riot.
I'll be honest with you. He did the original Toody pretty well.
Even without going fishing.
Yeah, we should have had that in there.
There was no fishing. There was no talk about a fishing boat that they were supposed to be on.
You're right.
Oh.
No, they didn't go there was nothing about fishing. She didn't get mad about the picnic. What? I don't know what.
Although the picnic was referenced.
It was referenced, yes. It was in there, but she was not mad about it.
There was a picnic in the first episode. Because he got to be at the picnic, but he's also got to be at work that day. Oh, golly gee.
What are they going to do? And again, painting the wife as the shrew in both the show and the film.
Yeah.
Love that. Love that for women. Love that. Women.
Walks through the door and she's just angry at him.
Yeah. Because he just wants to spend some time with the boys. Jeez Louise, Chewy, who died? Fred Gwynne.
Pause.
Oh, it's just Christopher and her lady walking across the street. Breathing, basically. All right.
Did he get him?
I think so.
Okay, good.
Yeah, he took them all down. So, yeah.
So, yeah, David Johansen is Gunther, and he gets a new partner in John C. McGinley as Francis Muldoon, the Ed Gwynn character, although he's not playing the Ed Gwynn character, because when we meet them on the TV show, they're already buddies.
They
like going fishing together.
Yeah.
He's not he's all really relaxed, Muldoon, in the TV show.
I was just going to say, he's super laid back, chill kind of dude. Yeah.
And McGinley plays him here like a guy who, if a woman spits on the street, he'll give him a ticket for it.
Yeah, like his Muldoon almost shot a kid.
That's the really funny bit early on, where this kid comes running out of a deli, and he's stolen something, and he gets out of his car, he gets out of the police car, and turns and shoots into a crowd of people.
That's right.
To try and murder this child who had stolen a $5 sandwich.
Yeah. Because he wanted to eat, he now has to be shot.
Oh, I relate to that.
Well, luckily he shot a bystander, so it's all right.
Yeah, and it just blew up their watermelon that they happened to have precariously set in a shopping cart on a sidewalk.
Yeah.
How very New York.
Lucky he was there, because otherwise he'd blown a fucking hole in her.
Yeah. And the great thing is, when it was done, she looked mildly surprised.
Oh, yeah.
You know, she was like,
oh no.
Not again.
What an inconvenience. Have to go get another watermelon.
You better pay for my watermelon, man.
Yeah. Can we also talk about the villain in this movie?
The villain in this movie is Daniel Baldwin, and it makes no sense.
It's your cut rate Baldwin.
Yeah.
Which is great.
This is fourth line Baldwin.
You can't get Alec, you get Billy. You can't get Billy, you get the other one. You can't get the other one, you get this one.
When he's at drug rehab, you get this one.
You get, yeah. This one, and this is the Baldwin that resembles the ham. Right?
Is this Ham Baldwin?
This is Ham Baldwin. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, with a mustache. He's a ham with a mustache.
He's
He plays the mobster in the movie. And for some reason in his office, his office is like in a basketball gym for some reason.
Yeah.
Because he's like in the center circle of this. But no one's allowed to cross into the circle. But then we're never told why no one is allowed to cross into the circle.
Exactly.
Never comes up. All we do see is they've hired this new mobster, and he's been told not to go across the circle. So when he's got to like kiss the ring, he can't cross the circle. So he's got to kind of lean across the circle to get to the desk to blow a kiss to the boss's ring.
Again, it's like, I think the movie thinks it knows what it wants to be, but is severely misguided somehow.
It's a little confused.
It is.
It's like 1993 flu infected the brilliant genre of parody film.
But at the last minute, like all of a sudden it's massive parody, and we're about an hour into the film.
Yeah.
Because at first it seems like it's taking itself seriously. We get the dream sequence, then it goes into normal day at the precinct.
Yeah, they're becoming a modern police department. They're getting the internet for the first time.
Yeah.
John C. McGinley's somehow in charge of that, even though he's a rookie, apparently.
Which yeah, all of a sudden he was like in charge.
He's like in charge. He's like telling everybody what to do, but he's also a rookie.
I don't understand.
He's never had sex with a woman. never known the touch of a woman his entire life.
It's one of my favorite lines. It's because Mike Nelson says that all the time. You'll never know the touch of a woman. You know what? He's right. He's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's obviously the better looking of the two.
Very much so.
And yet we always have people like Officer Toody, who's always married. Who always, you know.
The ladies love him. Ladies love Toody.
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. There is no amount of fire or bleach in the entire world that will ever remove that fucking sex scene between Rosie O'Donnell and David Johansen. I'm still seeing it. It's right here. It's like playing.
It's engraved in the mind.
It is.
I'm pretty sure that scene alone earned her 5th Razzie nomination.
She fucking deserved it. I mean, you know what pisses me off is that there's almost a realness to their sex scene.
Oh God.
Which is even more upsetting.
Meanwhile, Fran Drescher and John C. McGinley are banging in the back of a fucking horse-drawn carriage while Tone Loc watches.
But they're not even like really banging. They're like thrusting their hips upward into the air, like they're having sex.
We could like see the back of the carriage bouncing up and down.
What that kind of reminded me of for a second was the that weird future movie where they don't actually have sex. They just watch
Demolition Man.
Demolition Man.
Also set at a police precinct.
Also none of our fucking business. We didn't deserve that one either.
No.
You know, I forgot about this.
I remember from that movie, which is upsetting.
The 3 seashells. Come on.
Oh, God.
Oh, the 3 seashells. That's right. None of us could figure out exactly what you were supposed to do with it. And then if you do ask Wikipedia, they do have the answer for you, which I thought was great. So thanks, Wikipedia. That's why we don't use toilet paper in my house anymore.
You just use the seashells.
And that's why I have to walk up to my parents' house every time I come here.
Well, they aren't even real seashells. They're like those ones that hold soap. They're so big.
I've seen a seashell that was a soap, like, in my grandmother's house.
Did it remind you of that?
Shaped like... Well, it's been a while. It was when I was a child when I saw it. Like, I was a small child.
Somebody was telling me that if you used the 3 seashells, you could negatively affect your skin biome on your anus. Just saying.
Not to mention, pop open a series of hemorrhoids should you have them. Imagine that. I am right now.
You want to bang plastic around all over that?
I'm trying because anything to get that sex scene out of my head.
Yeah.
Just think about hemorrhoids. Think about seashells and hemorrhoids. Clap. Decent inclusion of Penn and Teller, the only good thing that could happen to this movie, even though it wasn't even that great.
Just like pulling out every gun known to man.
Which, again...
And then it ends with them shooting themselves.
Which you would too if you were in this film, wouldn't you?
Makes sense.
Yeah, I think they did the right thing.
That's another one of those scenes that feels like it was set up for a parody movie, where like they're going to pull out like eventually just a series of bigger and bigger guns until they explode the world or something.
Right, right.
But it never had any energy to it. It never had any forward motion to it as a joke.
They didn't really even want to be there.
Yeah, the Armand Desante one, where like they do something similar to that, and you can sense right away the comic build, like the tension of comedy is there.
Yeah.
In the scene, and you feel the build until the punchline arrives, and then you explode.
You never come in this one.
This is just
nope.
This is just a flat line.
Yeah.
In delivery and execution. Just totally nonsense.
Yeah. Unsatisfying, and you're ready to go home. That's all I'm saying after that.
Director Bill Fishman was unaware that the movie had been released until he was forwarded a check post-release royalties by his agent. Fishman was also not informed of the extensive re-edits that the movie had been through, and said had he known how different the end product would be from what he filmed, he would have asked to be credited as Alan Smithy.
Oh, you know what? I understand. I think that's fine. I understand that. I think that's fine.
That's a whole new...
God, when you want to invoke Alan Smithy, you know that's bad.
He didn't know the movie had been released.
Wow. Did they even have a premiere for it? I mean...
If he imagine if you weren't invited to the premiere of your own movie.
Yeah.
Well, apparently he wasn't. I mean...
That's like a crazy...
But he's, then he finds out there's a premiere, and he'll think, fuck, I didn't go to that.
It's like, oh, okay. Oh, no, what did you do to this thing?
Yeah. And the way that where it was filmed, it wasn't a police precinct. It was somebody's fallout shelter, right? I mean, because it kept changing, and then they had like a party there, and it's like
in the basement or something. It was so weird. It was an unsettling place. It was so unsettling.
They like pin the pasty on the patrol cop, which is like a patrol cop in like a sexy patrol cop picture.
Yeah,
you have to pin the pasty on it, and so Al Lewis gets to do that, and as Schnauzer, and he goes up to do it, but he sticks the pin in the electrical box, and it, like electrocutes himself. Doesn't die. He
goes and flies, and he's hurled down several sets of stairs. Doesn't die. And then we get to see him later on in the hospital watching episodes of the Munsters. Get it? Because he was in the fucking Munsters.
He was in the Munsters.
Oh, God, help me.
The Munsters is dumb.
Awful? People are just like, you obviously don't like good old-timey television, and you're fucking right, I don't.
Well, we prefer the 1990s sitcom remake of The Munsters, which we watched multiple episodes of.
And we never finished that podcast, did we?
No.
Because it just kind of petered out. Just like the show.
You kind of lost interest, I think, in watching it.
Oh, did I?
I'm definitely blaming you for that, yes.
I feel like it was mutual.
They, too, had a plot where, like, we gotta be at the kids' thing at the school, but I got the guys coming over for poker tonight.
Oh, that's right. God, everything had that in it, didn't it? And you never understood, like, why not just be honest? And just say, hey, I don't want to... You know what? Most relationships that last, you just tell them, hey, I want to go do this.
Yeah.
That's cool. Go do it. You know? Not...
A relationship like this, that...
It's...
What the women of this universe basically they want a man who is home after work and sits on the couch quietly and does nothing.
Then us, yeah.
And then, because then they gotta try and be a partner somehow, but they unspecify how they do that.
Right. There's...
What did she marry when she married him? Like, what did you know about this man when you decided I'm going to dedicate the rest of my life to him? Oh my God, he's the worst! Why is he never home?
And why did either of them marry the other one? They clearly hate each other. It's like...
But the sex is fantastic.
That was an homage to the TV show. Where
my God.
Yeah, they just hated each other on the TV show.
You can tell that was written by a man.
Yeah. Well, I think anytime you have a woman getting thrown into a dumpster.
Oh, that was something there.
Why was she going in the dumpster?
Because she almost figured or blew his cover. Right. Oh my God, you remembered.
I do.
There's like one time where Fuzzy looks up. Oh yeah, that's bullshit. Looks like that. Yeah.
Is it still crap? Yeah. Okay.
You know what most patrol cops do is go undercover.
That's
in the
true.
mall.
Oh yeah.
On their own initiative. That's what they do.
And not only that, I love the idea of once going back to Rosie. Once she's dumped into a dumpster, she calls his boss and tells on him.
Nipsey Russell, who was in the original TV show.
Nipsey, you scamp! You made a really bad choice with this movie.
He had the eraser board and he messed it up. He could because the captain was really happy with the erase board, and then Nipsey Russell just wrote all over it.
Cops, am I right?
It's so wacky.
Where's Amy? Which results in creativity. Oh my God!
But this is a movie that fucks. Because immediately the big twist in the first 2 minutes of this movie is Nipsey Russell saying, "Car 54, where the fuck are you?" Like, this isn't your daddy's Car 54, where are you? We can say fuck.
This is the gangster rap, Car 54.
Oh no.
Speaking of rap, there was some rapping done in this fucking movie.
There was like a bird that rapped. Jeremy Piven rapped.
Which should have never happened. Can we talk about Jeremy Piven in this fucking movie?
He's like an accountant who's going to turn state's evidence on Ham Baldwin. And he's being hidden at the precinct jail. And then he ends up in the back of Gunther's car.
Because, they have to get him out of the jail because he keeps getting his life, he keeps
poisoned or
blown up and
So they have to remove him. So what do? They put him in Toody's car because no one gives a fuck about Officer Toody.
And then his car gets stolen by some women of the night, sex workers.
From now, it's always women of the night.
Women of the night.
Always.
And where he ends up having a three-way and watching TV in a hotel.
Yeah. Remember that scene?
It was fun.
I think I did. I may have looked away for about 20 minutes. Oh, no, because he had that do-rag on, didn't he? He had a do-rag on. He's sitting there watching that TV. He's drunk. And then they have to get him out of the hotel because Ham Baldwin shows up. He's going to kill him.
So then the movie's got to go... Where do you go if you're a terrible movie and you need an ending to your movie? You go to a carnival.
You go to Coney Island.
You got to have a carnival scene.
It's Coney Island. They go to fucking Coney Island and get on a fucking roller coaster in a chase, which, by the way, this chase starts out like basically just somebody walking behind somebody with a gun and missing. Just shooting around them. And they're jogging. They're not even running. And then they get to a fucking roller coaster and say, you know what? That's,
We'll get on the front. They'll get on the guys chasing us will get on the back.
Yep.
And we'll shoot at each other while we're riding a roller coaster.
And Jeremy Piven's character's just kind of lolling his head because he's drunk.
He's dragging. He's like, "Can we go again?"
Oh my god! And he's so dirty and hairy in this movie. He's got that wife beater on, and
he's just so Jeremy pivoting.
He's pivoting all over the place.
He's pivoting everywhere.
He just keeps pivoting, and I just take back the pivot. That's
that was the whiny guy from Judgment Night.
Yeah, you loved him. Remember?
Yeah, that's the same actor.
Yeah.
You're welcome for that knowledge.
Do we want to call him an actor? Because I think he just is Jeremy Piven in everything.
Yeah.
Including Mr. Selfridge as well. And it was a decent show when he wasn't on it. But it was actually about his character, so awful. He annoyed the piss out of me, especially when they hand a rap to him.
He's obnoxious.
He's obnoxious.
He tries to beatbox.
Oh God.
Oh. That was painful. That was so painful to watch. That was so painful to watch.
Well, yeah, we didn't deserve that.
No, we didn't.
It was not funny. There's not a funny joke in the entire movie aside from one moment that I did appreciate, where Gunther Toody goes to do some like exposition and tell John C. McGinley's character who. Yeah. Oh, that's the guy, and he goes, "I know."
Yeah,
I know that I'm in the movie as well.
I'm also in this scene.
I can see. I have eyes.
Right. Yeah, you have to appreciate the realness of that moment.
It's like one of my biggest pet peeves in the movies where character A will walk in and say, "My brother. You're my brother." I can't believe it. My brother. How long have we known each other? 8 years we've known each other.
Can you believe it's been 8 years? Thank you, Sergeant Exposition.
Can you believe we've been married for 22 years? And we live at 1512 Meadow Lane all that time.
Just look at the camera and wink at us, okay? It's like that way we know you're trying to expose us to this.
You know I'm an accountant.
God, I want to make a movie of just those. Just those.
Yeah, just constantly telling Exposition the entire time.
I need this movie in my life. I am here for that. God, it's like, who needs to develop a story when you could just slap people in the face with your dick about it, you know? God. Yeah, one of the worst characters in this film for me was David Johansen's voice.
Oh. Yeah.
It just, again, it's like...
They spent all those years screaming with the New York Dolls. I think that kind of did him in. But you know what you want to do is give him a song.
Give him a couple that all sound like hot, hot, hot. All of them. Yeah. Not credited as Buster Poindexter in this fucking movie.
No. He didn't want to taint that legendary character.
Right? The song most used in commercials. Hot, hot, hot. But let's make sure that everybody knows it's him by making the song just a little different from the original.
Yeah, because he'll almost rap.
He'll almost rap.
He comes very close to rapping.
No one.
Hello, fellow young people.
Yeah.
We think we know you like the hip-hop, right?
Wait, we get hip-hop and Buster Poindexter in the same movie?
Oh, in the same song?
Oh, hell. The great Cody Mundy is in there, too.
Just wait while we break it down.
I liked that he was made to look cooler by putting a hat on during the performance. Let me have that fedora. Fedoras always make people look cool, though.
The animated bird dressing in rap gear.
Oh, yeah. Hey, you know what?
Why was there an animated bird in this movie?
That was the dream sequence. But
right.
Remember, Sean, back in this era, we had sweatshirts with Tweety on them, dressed as a gangster rapper. Do you not remember that? There are some things you can't wash away in the shower. That's one of those memories.
Yeah.
Yeah?
That's a thing that happened.
Ooh, actually, I'm going to show you a picture. They've got Tasmanian Devil doing it, too. Here, look at it go.
He's got baggy jeans, so like he doesn't have to. Like usually they'd put the tail through the jeans, but instead they hang so low that the tail is above the jeans.
Oh no! I should have put gangster rapper. Sorry, it took me to gangsters, which I think is also derogatory. Here you go.
It's gangsta.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, Bugs is a gangster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's Tez. Oh, they're dressed like Criss Cross. They make you want to jump.
So
That's a reference.
they were these two kids became like hero like hit rappers, and their whole gimmick is that they were little kids who wore their clothes backwards.
That was it.
They wore their jeans backwards. They wore their
Pants. Yeah, those things.
The jerseys.
The jerseys backwards.
Yeah.
They went hard. That's all we're saying.
You just imagine their mom just buttoning up their jersey behind them.
That, you know what? They're just like those little fuckers in House Party 3. They're just like immature. Little fuckers. Crisscross. Make you want to jump.
The Daddy Mac.
The Mac Daddy will make you, yeah. I like how they flip it. They flip it.
Their names did that too.
Yeah,
We're verses of each other because one's Daddy Mac and
the other is Mac Daddy.
Yeah.
See? Yeah.
You get it?
But you know what? They had a hot track called "Warm It Up, Chris." Warm it up, Chris. I'm about to warm it up, Chris. That's what I was born to do. Woo! My cringeometer just peaked, and it exploded. Look at it. It says "Lil Mama."
Oh my God!
Lil Mama.
No! Oh no!
That's hot.
No, his chain is dragging on the ground because his chain is so long.
Well, I mean, he's Tweety Bird. He's not that tall. That's me wearing any necklace right there.
Chunky necklaces. That's what being a gangster rapper was all about.
If you say it like that, then millennials are going to think you're talking about a statement piece, and that's not what that is.
Kind of. It kind of is a statement piece, actually. Thank you very much.
Is it?
Is it? I mean, yeah. Obviously.
Makes a statement.
I want the Tweety Bird dressed as a gangster that actually says your name here. Not my actual name, just your name here. Okay,
You want the Carnival template. the pre-painted.
That's right. You know what? This one deserves to go up on the Facebook page. We're gonna grab that one and take it on over.
I don't know if they do this at carnivals anymore, but they used to do this thing at carnivals where you could you'd get a white T-shirt and then they would paint the T-shirt there in front of you. They could paint the full design of the T-shirt right there in front of you.
I had somebody make me one with it was a cat, but it was like a pink and purple and blue cat, and then they took little rhinestones and made those the eyes, but I was really young and didn't realize that those eyes were right on top of my nipples. But it did say Amy up on top in a really beautiful font.
But the popular template was Tweety Bird as a gangster.
That's true. I mean, that's why it deserves.
Can't get away from that.
I think it's going to confuse people if I just post that on. But we're going to do it anyway. We're going to do it.
People.
It's a reference to the episode now.
That's right.
Figure it out once you listen to the episode.
Poor Bill Fishman, man. He was a famous music video director before he made this movie. And he went immediately back to directing music videos.
Can you blame him?
And again, they didn't even tell him the movie was coming.
No one liked him. Guys, don't tell Bill. Pass it on.
Nobody tell him. We gotta make sure everyone is in on this. Nobody.
Somehow Bill didn't secure final cut on Car 54. Where are you?
There's not a director's cut out there of Bill Fishman's vision of Car 54. Where are you? The movie.
I mean, the version with the music would be that. I'm sure.
I don't even want to think about that, though. We had enough fucking music in this as it was.
I feel like it would involve more rap, and that scares me.
I know. You don't deserve that. No.
None of
John
us
C.
do.
McGinley was making another movie while he made this one.
In case this one failed. Smart thinking, John.
According to IMDb, he worked on this film and the movie Article 99, which came out in 1992. At the same time. He would work on one film, Monday to Wednesday, and then the other movie Thursday and Friday. Yeah, because you got to get your weekends off.
That's true. I know actually a lot of actors that do that. They'll do a TV show and a film at the same time.
It just shows it his performance too.
It does. Just checking in, guys.
Hi, I'm here. I'm one of the main characters. Good to meet you. I'm gonna duck out. I'll see you guys.
I'm just gonna fuck off, you guys.
Fuck off. I got another movie I'm making, so. Sorry, today's my Article 99 day, guys. I can't make it. You film around me? Have Buster do a song or something.
Oh, hey, you know what? Buster's got plenty of songs that sound just like Hot, Hot, Hot that we're going to use. So that's fine.
It's just different variations of Hot, Hot, Hot.
That's all I
90
want.
minutes.
If that was the soundtrack, just like different variations, and it just sounded like Hot, Hot, Hot.
Okay, I got a salsa version now. Let's rock that. Let's go. It's a gangster rap version, salsa.
Oh.
Country it up in the final act.
Oh.
You know, little steel guitar in there. I got a fiddle version that I've been working on for a while. Well, insert that over the credits.
Oh, I'd love that, actually. I think that'd be pretty great. Yeah. So, I think that was... Okay, now that kind of makes sense as to why it was kind of taking itself a little seriously, a bit, and then all of a sudden it just went straight to parody. Like they're like, guys, this isn't a fucking musical. We got to fix this. Hey, you know it's popular in '93. Those 3 people on that podcast love parodies. Let's turn it into that. Fuck you.
But only like 10% of it.
Just
at the end.
Yeah, a bare minimum. And then they started doing those things in the background, those little gags in the background that we're always looking for. Not fucking funny at all.
I mean, you've got to set us up as a parody movie. You can't... I mean, I know it sounds like a parody when you say it begins with him sleeping during a riot, but that joke is just not... It's not funny.
It just doesn't...
It
no.
doesn't hit.
It
doesn't.
There's nothing it never gets funny. Not that joke. No matter... They hold on that joke for a good solid 3 minutes, including, breaking away for him to do his musical dream sequence.
Right.
Then coming back to, like, a guy's head being slammed through the window of his car, and Nipsey Russell's yelling at him, and he said, "Oh, we're just fighting a riot." Whatever. Cops are outside
It was so weird. It was, like, huge. and like, in a really weird spot. Like, why were they rioting? What was happening?
Not to mention the insensitivity of it all, too.
Yeah.
Although now that I realize it was supposed to come out in 1990, this was pre-Rodney King. But that Billy Club bar scene, I would have just taken that fucking out.
Yeah, there's a sign for the Billy Club bar that is just a cop beating a guy with a billy club.
Yep.
Just a neon sign.
It was so...
Of a cop beating a guy with a billy club.
And again, if had this actually been made in, like, 93, we'd be like, dude, you can't fucking do that.
But that's kind of how you know that you failed your mission in making a Car 54 Where Are You movie, is if something like this happens in the real world, they're like, I don't know if we can release the Car 54 Where Are You movie.
Oh, darn. It's not going to come out after all.
This isn't going to seem very sensitive. That Car 54 Where Are You movie that we made. That super edgy Car 54 Where Are You movie.
But yet we went on...
Car 54 Where the fuck
Where
are
the
you?
fuck are... Oh, my God.
Because this is a movie that fucks.
This is a movie that fucked us up.
Fucked everyone who watched it over.
We
no.
didn't we haven't hurt anyone. We haven't murdered anyone.
No.
This wasn't a movie.
Well, it's like you said, we were talking about the parody bits in this, and you're like, it's just not funny. This whole film is just not funny. Like, there's there's no laughter except for that one moment, like you pointed out. But like, that's it. That's fucking it.
That's it. Yeah, there's no comic oasis in the midst of this desert.
No?
It's just all desert.
Yep, all desert. All fucking desert.
It's a desert storm.
Oh wow.
There is.
Hey, look
That's
at that!
a war.
You made a '90s reference.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
I did?
Yes! Yes!
Desert Storm was the war that was on while this movie was being made.
Yeah!
Oh, huh.
Wow! And you're not even looking at the internet. That's weird.
That is
No, I'm not.
impressive.
It is.
I'm
gonna-
in
Proud
a
of you.
game.
I'm gonna go ahead and-
swiping.
Post that picture of the Tasmanian Devil and Bugs Bunny dressed up as Criss Cross.
I thought you were gonna get General Schwarzkopf's picture up.
Oh.
In honor of MJ's joke.
This is almost akin to Jack Black. and the film that I don't want to say. or Pauly Shore. Pauly Shore and
Oh, Pauly Shore.
the movie I don't want to say. You know what movie. I can't even think of it. I want to keep saying like Schrodinger or something. Or Schindler's List. Fuck. Pauly Shore and Schindler's List. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
God damn it. God bless. Yeah, so, I mean, I guess my only question is, have we talked an hour about this film yet?
Almost.
Jesus Christ. I would really love to talk about upcoming films and get the fuck off of this movie.
What have you been watching lately?
Me?
Yeah. Have you been watching anything interesting?
Yeah. Reruns of Mr. Science Theater.
MJ, you watching anything interesting lately?
He so
Not
desperately wants to talk
really.
about Doctor Who, and I still haven't watched it. I'm gonna get to it.
You still have not watched Shooty's first episode.
Oh, yes, I actually have.
You didn't like it?
Oh, no, I thought it was great. I just wasn't super sober when I watched it. So I kind of fell asleep during it.
What are we talking about? Sorry.
First episode for Shooty is Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
As the Doctor.
As the Doctor.
I loved the musical sequence. I thought it was amazing.
I did not like the
I
lyrics.
loved the Goblin King.
Oh, the Goblin King.
I felt like it was, we're over-explaining. It felt too... I was uncomfortable during it. But he was awesome. I absolutely adore him. So, yeah. There's just like the way that she was explaining what she's going to do to the baby and everything. That's just like, ew. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Like, no.
It's a baby.
No.
It's a baby.
How about no?
How about no?
You have to properly prepare your baby before you eat it.
Oh, God. See? That's what I mean. That's not right.
We don't eat babies on this podcast. Not to clarify.
We don't really endorse it either. Like,
No,
you know,
we don't endorse it.
don't do that.
Don't eat a baby.
Yeah. And if you do, don't tell us about it because it makes us uncomfortable.
I'm pretty sure any conversation with a person outside of this room is uncomfortable for us.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, like walk around up to people and go, have you seen Car 54? Where are you?
Have you
I just
ever?
watched it. And
Do you eat babies? Because if so, we've got a show for you. It's funny, like, people will ask me about the podcast, and I'll tell them the name of it all the time. And it's the same 6 people that ask me, what was the name of it again?
See, I'll have people ask me about it, and then but it'll be like certain people, and I'll be like,
I don't want to tell you about that.
no, not really.
that show's
like,
not really for you.
I think it's a little bit outside of your comfort zone there.
I've had to tell people
stop
that.
Do you eat babies?
Yeah. Do you
This
eat
is
babies?
the show for you. If you do.
Do you like the word cunt?
Is it one of your favorite words?
Yeah.
Is Buster Poindexter on the cunt list?
You know, I think both he and Rosie need to be on there for that sex scene alone.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Rosie has always deserved it. So.
Oh, God bless.
Exit to Eden.
Oh, but I still want to watch that for some reason.
Why?
Because it's an abomination.
I bleached the movie.
I think after what we withstood today, and the fact that we're alive to tell the story, we can do anything.
We're invincible.
We really are. I think you could throw anything at us.
I think we've earned at least yellow belt status when it comes to bad movies.
I agree. I feel very confident
Maybe red
saying
belt.
that.
Maybe. After this one.
So,
I don't know what belt's better than the other belts.
yeah, hey, you did the belts, you did capoeira.
Oh, yeah, so there was like, I did Taekwondo, and it was...
That's right.
It was white, yellow, there might have been orange, and then...
Isn't it
don't
red,
know,
brown, black?
Well, there was also, at my place, there was a camo belt,
Oh, that is
purple
so
belt.
Iowan, isn't it?
a blue belt, There was a couple different ones.
God, you never can move up.
It was a lot.
This is the fuchsia belt.
Oh my god.
Just gonna keep giving you. Oh, it's like the scrunchies. The scrunchies that he got.
It's like the scrunchies. I was thinking of the cords. The corda.
Oh, well, yeah, there's the corda, but there's also the scrunchies, that Bob was getting.
We're talking about Bob's Burgers if you haven't seen. And it always it involves gyro, so yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah, we're black belts, I'd say. We're black belts. Because I don't want to be a camo belt.
No.
Because fuck that.
So
There is a red and like a... Yeah, there's a red one. We could be the red one.
I want to be a black belt.
Okay.
Thank
you.
you.
Be a black belt.
God. I think I've made myself very clear.
So facing a dilemma
Yeah.
for the next movie.
Right.
Because I did say that we would watch one of them. Because it's so horrifically offensive, and we wanted to take a look and see just how horrifically offensive it still is.
Right.
Which is Ace Ventura Pet Detective, which would be next. But I do want to point out, in a bizarre bit of unexpected irony that I didn't even notice, you know what comes out next week?
What?
I'll Do Anything.
Does it really?
The other movie that was a musical that all of its musical numbers cut out before it was released, and that was released not a musical.
Here's the thing.
Comes out next week.
Mom and I went and saw this in the movie theater. This is the one about him and the little girl, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, yes, we saw this in the movie theater.
Story. I think it's Nick Nolte. It's the little girl. I don't remember the woman, but yeah, there's got a good cast.
And actually, I don't remember hating it, so I'm really curious about that. But the fact that it was a musical...
It was a Prince musical, mind you. A Prince musical.
Which...
It does not fit.
It's because it's the whitest fucking movie you'll ever see, though.
Because Albert Brooks is in this movie.
Oh,
I love Albert Brooks.
well, and I think that's why I remember liking it.
He was doing. There was gonna be a musical number about him lamenting the audience numbers for his movie that he had made. Like they did a test screening, and the test screening went bad.
Yeah,
and he was gonna sing a sad song about test screening numbers.
We have to watch this one. We have to watch this one because even if
what about Ace Ventura?
No one cares. I know everybody wants us to do that movie, but I think I'd rather shoot myself in the foot.
Grossly offensive.
It's so bad.
He turns over and talks out of his butt. He bends down, he opens up his cheeks, and he talks through his butt.
I think I've actually seen this movie before.
I have a feeling that maybe your mom and Ian might like this movie. So maybe we shouldn't.
So there's one scene, right? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and let's get Ace Ventura out of the way.
That's
We've
fine.
seen it.
Yep.
You've not seen it. We'll tell you about it. You can react to what this is.
Yeah.
He's a pet detective who investigates any crimes related to animals. So the mascot for the Miami Dolphins gets stolen, and they hire Ace Ventura, pet detective, to recover the dolphin. He needs to work with the police. The police are headed up by Chief Einhorn, played by Sean Young. Sean Young is a trans character. So
I don't remember that part of it.
Detective Einhorn is a female, is a woman who is the head of the police chief, but she used to be the kicker for the Miami Dolphins, Ray Finkel, who has stolen the Dolphins mascot and kidnapped quarterback Dan Marino and is holding them hostage so the Dolphins will lose a playoff game. And Ace figures out, after kissing Einhorn, he kisses Einhorn, and then he finds out that Einhorn has a penis. And he goes home, and he takes a shower, and he just kind of bleaches out his eyes. He's drinking bleach because he kissed a man, you see. Yeah. That's the joke, is that he kissed a man.
I have to wonder if Jim Carrey would be proud of that.
He can't be.
I can't see that he would be.
Because it's deeply offensive. It was deeply offensive then.
Yeah.
We were just a shitty culture.
Right.
We're still kind of a shitty culture, but we're less shitty.
We're trying not to be.
We're 30% less shitty, I would say.
I'd say that's me all over. And it doesn't get it doesn't get any better from there. I mean, we've got indigenous moments in there. We've got
this motherfucker right here. This motherfucker right here. Courtney Cox is his love interest.
Oh.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, look it! Remember when his ass was coming out of the back of?
That's in Ace Ventura 2, where he emerges from the ass end of a rhinoceros naked.
I hate it. I hate all of it.
As if being birthed.
I like the idea of us picking out some movies that maybe people have forgotten or don't think about, and I feel like people still...
This was a huge hit.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
$400 million worldwide. Like, huge. Massive. He got $20 million per movie after this. That's how big it became. That's how big he became.
That's how big it... Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think Hollywood actors are not paid that today.
No.
Like, there's no $20 million paychecks anymore.
As well, there shouldn't be.
But Jim Carrey, Ace Ventura.
See, and you could tell, look at her hair. This is right when they're doing the pilot for Friends.
Oh, yeah. Because that is...
Yep,
yeah.
that's the hair. Oh, Courtney. But again, it was hugely popular. I mean, that was great for her. She's just coming off of Ace Ventura and going into Friends. So it's like, that's kind of a big deal.
When we bent over and he talked out of his butt, everybody laughed. Everybody thought it was hilarious because he's talking out of his butt.
Amusing.
Sometimes
Wow.
I feel like I yearn for my childhood, and then I think, no, I'm fine. I'll just stay 46. It's fine. I don't want to go back to a time where that movie existed popularly. Yeah, so I like I said, I would rather us...
America, the worldwide blockbusting leader.
Oh, God.
It's our top film. It's a guy talking out of his butt.
And the rest of the world is going, yep, that tracks.
Yeah.
How American is that right there?
Yep. That makes sense. That totally makes sense.
Meanwhile, we're like looking at Europe going, oh, art movies.
Yeah,
Oh.
right. God.
Do you guys have Jim Carrey talking out of his butt? I don't think you do. We also have dinosaurs.
Okay.
We have dinosaurs and a guy who talks out of his butt. Europe.
Here's the thing, though. There's plenty of things you could yell at like Britain about. Benny Hill, fuck you. You know, it's not
Every
like
culture has their own bad taste. It's just we tend
Gary
not
Glitter. Yeah, I mean,
we tend not to see that come over from other countries. Their bad taste tends to be also kind of dangerous because there's Nazi elements.
But see, well, that's true. But America also loves to broadcast how awful we are.
Oh, we do.
We're
Tell
the
the
loudest bunch of assholes on the planet.
You just know somewhere in the universe there's an Indian actor whose job it was to dub over Jim Carrey's talking butt
Oh my God,
into Hindi.
that's true.
That poor man.
There's an Italian man that did it.
Chinese,
Yeah.
Japanese.
Oh my God. Oh,
What am I supposed to say?
Russian. Which actually would kind of sound funny, I think. But wow.
That's somewhere in the world.
I love it when you put things into perspective like that. So I think I'll do anything. Just because it's not a movie that people will readily remember, and it has an interesting backstory to it, and it has to be better than the fucking tripe we watched today. Has to be.
The low bar.
Very low
Something
bar.
more entertaining.
Something that we'll actually look up from our phones
Yeah.
and go, oh, that's
Look
kind of
at
cute.
that. Huh.
Yeah, sure.
It looks amiable, you know? Mm-hmm. It looks like good-natured.
It does. And it was. From what I remember, it was. And Mom just loved that little girl that was in it, and she was quite good. So, yeah. I think it'll be an interesting one to watch back, and then to try to suss out where they ripped the music out of it and everything. You know what I mean? Like, that would be... I'd be curious about that.
Wow.
So...
Yeah, wow. That's wild, man.
What? What I just said?
Yeah, totally.
You weren't even fucking listening, you dick. God.
I was just noticing that the little girl from I'll Do Anything is the same little girl from Jean-Claude Van Damme's Sudden Death.
What?
The hockey movie where his child gets raised to break up a terrorist ring at a hockey game.
God, we don't have any movies of his to watch, do we?
Van Damme, I don't think he worked in '94.
See, God, you got a fantastic cast with this movie. Albert Brooks, Julie Kavner, Julie Richardson. Like, I mean, come on. What a great group. Yes, I loved this movie. Oddly enough, let's see here. Yeah, Tracy Ullman. That's right. Oh, we gotta do this. We gotta.
Fair enough.
Okay, we're gonna do that one then. For sure.
All right, then. Yeah, we just covered Ace Ventura, so you can't be mad at us.
Yeah. And if you are, you're not obviously the people we want listening to the podcast, so you may.
But I wanted the transphobia.
Are you guys gonna post it with the video this time? How am I supposed to watch the movie and just listen to you talk about it? This is a podcast, sir.
This is a Wendy's, sir.
All right. Yeah, for sure. I'll do anything next week.